Welcome back, everybody. It is Origin night. I'm struggling for time currently for the Supercoach side of my life, but I'm going to cram this one in just before this game kicks off and hopefully get it to you guys Thursday night or late tonight if I can get the bits and pieces done before kickoff that are also relevant to getting it live for you. So if you're enjoying the content, please give the video a like, because it is free for you to enjoy and whatnot. I don't really get anything out of it other than joy, which is not forthcoming at the moment just due to the schedule. So cramming this one in. Brizzy games, I don't know how many there are, we'll find out in a bit, but it is wet Friday, Saturday, clearing on Sunday. Sydney, looks like it's all good, which is nice. So hopefully a bit of good footy this weekend after the Origin players were away and we had to watch. I mean, it was like okay games, but it was all upsets. Haven't prepped really hard for this one, so bear with me. I will get through it. Dragons are producing consistent scores. They're conceding a moderate rate. Knights are piling up big Supercoach numbers and they're leaking Supercoach points. That's really due to last weekend. It's really boosted where the Knights are at, though, from scoring perspective. And honestly, though, with like Fletcher Sharp, Marju, Best, and Dylan Lucas, that left edge, it kind of bolsters the Knights altogether when they're really not incredible. The Dragons have a slight edge just based on how they're going as well. Dragons are sort of balanced and they're not like super strong with their balance, but they're definitely like sitting okay. They're not like a Bunnies balance, which is really poor, the way they score their Supercoach points across the field. The Knights, though, it's all left. So, yeah. Look, Fletcher Sharp has the elite matchup, but he could go to fullback at a late swap. But even if he's there, he has a great matchup too, so it's a nice one for him. Interesting to not see the left centre or Dylan Lucas in the data there. Jaden Sewer, obviously one of the better sort of back rowers out there, so he's been sort of shutting him down. Jaden Sewer himself has an elite matchup for the Dragons. Poor matchup for Gutho if you're still owning him. For me in draft, I'm still having to rely on Gutho in a league with Tommy out. Right side gets a great matchup here for the Dragons with Tui Pelotu back, so you can go for him. Not a lot else really jumps out to me. It's really just the monitoring the Fletcher Sharp thing, but he's good to go. Game 2, Titans Storm. This one's at the Gold Coast, I think. Yeah, it's the Goldie, so the weather could be a bit questionable Saturday Arvo if we go back real quick. Yeah, it could be wet. I don't know. I haven't looked at the Goldie specifically, so bear that in mind. You might want to check that if you're looking at captaining Pappenhausen, but you still got to go for the VC on him in classic formats. Titans are producing some scores in sort of like the middle tier, but they're leaking Supercoach points. Obviously, Storm are just the dominant. They just shut teams down and then they just rip off big numbers. This could get ugly at Seabus if it's dry, especially. Even if it isn't dry, it could get ugly. But then again, the Titans' most unpredictable team in the comp, they could just come out and put up a bit of a fight. Who knows? Nothing really jumps out to me. The Titans, it's pretty grim. Their dominant side, they're dominant in the middle with Tino and a few other guys scoring, like Mofot. And then, left edge humming nicely. I don't know, just Bo Fermor playing a bit of left, and then maybe AKP. But, that's just what the story is for the Titans at the moment. Brimo, he was running the left for a bit before he went to fullback. Storm-wise, it's a big advantage. Edges just elite, like top 5 edges sort of thing. Might even be better. I haven't looked at it in depth, but they're running hot. Gun matchups for the left to RF, Blore the left half, Munster if he backs up, and the right winger, right centre and left winger also elite. So just those edges, fullback, great matchup for what's his face, Puppy. Even like Eli Katoa, I'm keen to see how he goes. He's been a bit quiet though, Eli, so looking for, and when I say quiet, we're talking 60s and 70s, but looking for another 100 from him soon. Game 3, Cowboys Tigers. It's pretty much all systems go for the Cows in many ways. Right half gun matchup, elite matchups for the front row, hooker, left winger, fullback. Right winger, it's tough, it's bad. Left centre, it's tough, which is notable for some people relying on like Robert Derby, but don't read into that for this one. I think the Tigers are struggling a bit now. They've sort of lost that defensive edge they had at the start. Cowboys piling big Supercoach numbers, but they're also leaking points, which is kind of good for a few Tigers players like Terrell May. Cowboys could just knife them here at home. Should be sunny, should be dry, and they should shred them. They're elite down their edges, the Cows. So plug and play your outside back Cowboys. The Tigers are just carried by Terrell May. That's all I'm going to say. The big fella. Game 4, Seagulls, Broncos. Seagulls struggling to generate Supercoach output and they're limiting opposition, generally speaking, which doesn't seem like the case, but it just is. Over the last sort of several weeks, Broncos are producing consistent scores and they're limiting opposition well. Broncos hold the Supercoach edge. Just the Seagulls aren't doing much explosively left, right, or in the middle channels. And then the Broncos, it's just all Paddy and Payne from a dominance perspective. They sort of get it a little bit everywhere, but they peak through the middle with the big fellas. Fullback, great matchup for Lehigh Hopewate. Left centre, good matchup for people relying on Cooler. Right to arrow from neutral for Ola Kawatu. He's been really, really average, so I need something from Ola Kawatu this weekend. For the Bronx, right centre, right winger, elite matchup, which is nice. Left to RF, great matchup. Lock, great matchup. Hooker, good matchup. Right half, neutral matchup. Tough for the fullback, who's Jesse Arthurs this weekend, on paper anyway. And then the left winger, it's a bit tough too for whoever's playing left wing for him, Cobbo or Dean Mariner. Sorry. For Game 5. Rabbitohs are struggling to generate output and they're also leaking Supercoach points. They're just really a good matchup for whoever's coming up against them. Warriors are struggling to generate Supercoach output, but they're also shutting teams down defensively. They're just sort of playing a really grindy style, the Warriors, killing a lot of Supercoach output. Warriors hold a significant edge. They could score a little more this game, potentially. Gun matchup for the front rowers and the hooker for the Warriors through the middle, which just shows how leaky the Rabbitohs are, letting offloads and whatnot. Elite matchups for the right to RF, right wing and fullback for the Warriors. Neutral is the lowest matchup, so it's green lights for all Warriors guys, basically. Rabbitohs, great matchup for the left to RF and left centre. Good matchup for the fullback, left winger, hooker, right centre. Lock, right winger and right half, bad matchups. Just anyone who's relying on Aaron Clarks and Metcalfs and whatnot, it's a good weekend to have them. Rabbitohs are poor across the board. And the Warriors are elite in the middle. Panthers Eels, second last game, I think. Second last game. For the Panthers, the only notable matchup is the left centre, who's Jesse McLean again, I think, which is pretty brutal. And then it's good matchup for the lock, right winger and right centre, so a bit grim for the Panthers. It's neutral for the fullback, right to RF, and then bad for the left half and the front rowers. Panthers are piling up big Supercoach numbers and they're leaking Supercoach points. So they're pretty good at scoring their Supercoach points, the Panthers guys. You got Yowie, you got Cleary, you got Talangi lately, some of the wingers and stuff, they get a bit of upside. And they're dominant in the middle, the Panthers. So just the forwards, Lindsay Smith, and even the fullback contributes there, Dylan Edwards at times. Eels are playing up big Supercoach numbers and they're limiting opposition well. Eels hold a significant edge. They could go large. The Eels are really finding their groove at the moment. And they did that last week without Moses too, which is interesting. I don't know if he'll back up, but he very well could. Gun matchup for the right to RF, right centre, and the fullback Isaiah Yongi. Elite matchup for the left centre. Great matchup for the left to RF and the hooker. Tough matchup for the lock, left winger, and left half. This is an interesting one. Should be plenty of Supercoach points, I'd say. Last game of the weekend, Roosters Raiders. Pretty tough for the Roosters here with only one great matchup to a right winger. Then it's into good matchups for the left to RF and the right centre. Then it's neutral for the hooker, right half and fullback. And it's poor for the left winger, left half, right to RF. The Raiders, they got a gun matchup for the left centre. Elite matchup for the right half and a lock. Great matchup for the right winger. Good matchup for the left half. Then it's neutral for the left winger. Bad for the front rowers, right centres, but I'm not too stressed about the front rowers there. Even Tarpanay could have his way with this smaller, younger Roosters pack, perhaps. Roosters have the edge in the balance, but I think the Raiders should do them here, but who knows? They've been up for a while, the Raids. Dominant side for the Roosters, the right, but they're pretty balanced in their scoring. The Raiders are pretty balanced and pretty good, so should be a good one. This keen to watch it. Anyway, hope that helps you guys. Obviously there's no questions. Go Queensland, and we'll see what the aftermath origin is. Going to have a lot to play out on these matchups, so keep your eyes peeled. Post these on Twitter. Yeah, see ya.